Alright fellas, now I'm a massive Mike Tyson fan, and really, how can't you be? Watching those classic performances, highlight reel knockouts, and just a bit of everything else he does nowadays. As a boxing fan, I found myself wondering what actually happened in Mike Tyson's final professional fight. Now, Mike Tyson, once an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, known for his ferocious boxing style and intimidating presence in the ring, saw a dramatic shift in his career around when the new millennium was approaching. By the late 1990s, Tyson's career, once defined by an unparalleled string of victories, began to encounter turbulence. After his release from prison in 1995, Tyson made a much anticipated return to boxing, quickly reclaiming his WBC and WBA titles. However, this resurgence was short-lived. The two high-profile bouts against Evander Holyfield in 1996 and 1997 marked a significant turning point. The first ended in a shocking loss for Tyson, and the rematch is infamously remembered for Tyson biting Holyfield's ear, leading to a disqualification and that hefty fine. The years following these controversies were marked by a series of setbacks and challenges. Tyson's financial troubles became public, and his behaviour outside the ring started to overshadow his achievements within it. In 2001, Tyson fought Brian Nielsen in Denmark, winning by TKO. This victory, however, was eclipsed by the 2002 clash with Lennox Lewis for the heavyweight title. Tyson's defeat by knockout in the 8th round raised questions about the future of his boxing career. Tyson himself began to speak more openly about his own personal struggles and the toll they were having on his boxing performances. Despite this, he continued to fight, leading up to his encounter with Danny Williams in 2004. The fight against Danny Williams was a critical moment. Tyson sustained a knee injury in the first round, ultimately losing the match by knockout by the 4th. This loss signaled a clear decline in Tyson's physical dominance and resilience that had once defined his early career. Entering the ring against Kevin McBride, his final fight in 2005, Mike Tyson was no longer the invincible Iron Mike of the 1980s, yet he remained a figure of immense interest and speculation. This fight, unknown to many at the time, would be the final chapter of his storied and tumultuous career in professional boxing. As the world turned to Mike Tyson's next fight, a lesser-known giant was preparing to step into that spotlight, this being Kevin McBride, a towering figure standing 6 feet 6 inches tall, hailing from Clones, Ireland. McBride's career was a mix of highs and lows. While he had an impressive number of wins, he remained relatively unknown to the global audience. His fighting style was characterized by his physicality, leveraging his size and reach to his advantage. By the time the fight was announced, McBride had a record of 32 wins and 4 losses. Despite this, he was widely viewed as an underdog, with many seeing him as just another step in Tyson's comeback trail. Boxing experts and fans alike were skeptical of McBride's chances, but within his camp there was a quiet confidence. McBride saw this fight not only as a challenge, but as an opportunity to make his mark on the world stage and emerge from obscurity. For Tyson, this fight was seen as a critical step in just another attempted comeback. Following his defeat to Danny Williams, questions swirled about Tyson's ability to reclaim his former glory. The stakes were high, and not just for the fight itself, but for what it represented in Tyson's turbulent career. As the promotional machine kicked into high gear, the contrast between Tyson and McBride became a focal point. Tyson, the once undisputed champion with a fearsome reputation, against McBride, the towering Irishman with everything to prove. On the 6th of November 2005, the two finally met in the ring. Prior to the fight, the only noteworthy fight in the undercard was Laila Ali, who was the daughter of Muhammad Ali, versus Erin Tohill for the WIBA and WBC super middleweight world titles, which Ali would go on to win by TKO. After this fight, Tyson and McBride both came out. Through the first round, McBride came out throwing the first punches with both fighters measuring out each other. A pretty uneventful round with Tyson getting in several body shots in the final minute. Round 2, McBride continues to stick to his game plan, throwing long punches to keep Tyson away. Tyson is warned for a low blow and McBride mainly throws single punches throughout the rest of the round. Round 3 is mainly a barrage of Tyson punches, with McBride leaning on Tyson to try wear him out. Tyson through these rounds is getting off a number of effective punches, which will see him take home these last 3 rounds. Round 4 is much of the same, with Tyson getting in more short combinations, but by round 5, both fighters are just slugging it out. Tyson is appearing to tire and McBride ramps up his attacks. Round 6 has Tyson coming out swinging. Tyson is warned as McBride winces holding his left arm, while additionally going on to receive a 2-point deduction for an intentional headbutt, which opens up a cut above McBride's eye. Tyson fights to try win back the round, but McBride stands tall, with him leaning on Tyson to the point where Tyson falls onto the floor, but is not scored a knockdown and the round ends. The fight dramatically finishes as Tyson quits on his stool before the 7th round begins, with McBride winning by corner retirement. The conclusion of the Tyson McBride fight was more than just a physical defeat for Mike Tyson. It was a moment of raw emotional revelation. In the aftermath of this loss, Tyson took to the microphone. His words painted a picture of a man confronting his own reality. He spoke candidly, admitting that he no longer had the stomach to fight and was fighting solely for financial reasons.
Mike, first let's start with you. Did you want to continue?
Well, I would like to continue, but I saw that I was getting beat on. I realized I don't think I have it anymore because I got the ability to stay in shape, but I don't got the fighting guts, I don't think, anymore.
When did you recognize that? At what part of the fight?
I don't know, early into the fight. I'm just sorry I let everybody down. I just don't have this in my heart anymore.
Well, the reason I fought Kevin McBride was just for a payday. I didn't really think I was winning or anything. I didn't anticipate winning. It was just a whole mindset I had. I didn't really care. I was so out of shape. I was tired. I wasn't taking it serious. We were just fighting for the payday.
Did you feel as though you had it coming into the fight?
No, I'm just fighting to take care of my bills, basically. I don't have the stomach for this kind of no more.
His admission of fighting for money, not glory, was a stark contrast to the young, ferocious champion he once was. Tyson's vulnerability in this moment was a stark reminder of the human element of the sport of boxing. Even the greatest of athletes face decline. Tyson, once the epitome of power and invincibility in the ring, displayed signs of vulnerability and fatigue. The humanization of Tyson altered the narrative from one of invincibility to one of a fighter facing his own limitations. It underscores that no matter how great a fighter is, the time and circumstances can change everything. For Tyson, the McBride fight symbolized the end of an era, the final chapter in a career that had both electrifying highs and devastating lows. It should be pointed out that this fight and Tyson's candid admission for his reasons for fighting humanized him to the public. It allowed people to see beyond Iron Mike the champion and to see Mike Tyson as a human being, with all his complexities and his own personal struggles. For McBride, he continued to box, but his later fights did not mirror the success he achieved on that June night in 2005. He faced a series of tough opponents which led to mixed results. His performances, while commendable, never reached the same heights as his victory over Tyson. While the Tyson-McBride fight may have not been the highlight of Tyson's career, it reminds us that Tyson's legacy is not defined by this one fight, but by his entire journey in the sport. A journey marked by extraordinary triumphs, personal battles, and ultimately, a very, very human conclusion.